Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to Jimmy Talks Jira. It's been a while since we've had a video, and I am glad to be back on the channel. 2022 was an absolutely amazing year with tons of great things, and it's hard for me to believe that it's flown by as quickly as it has. Without further ado, you know that we always have great stuff going on every single month. Let's take a quick look at the recap of everything in December. Okay, so let's get started. First off, we're going to get into the highlights and announcements. Atlassian has made a SOC 2 certification update. If you aren't familiar with SOC 2, it's becoming a more important certification for a number of businesses. I know for my company personally, it is a 100% requirement on any new vendor that we work with. This is just going over what is currently covered product-wise under their SOC 2 audit reports and when they're going to have them available. So if you're interested in that, I would recommend checking this out. If it's something that's important to your company, you're definitely going to want to go into the Compliance Resource Center, which is on Atlassian's website, and download any of them that are required for your auditing purposes. Next up, the retirement of the full-page issue crate in Jira Cloud. So you may have already seen this rolled out. I know a number of my own users have really enjoyed seeing this. You will now see the ability to change the creation dialog so that there is a minimize and a maximize buttons, which really gives you the flexibility of not having to have a separate tab open while you're creating an issue, at the same time as being able to see some of the information that's behind the modal that you're trying to work with. There are also some other things that they have done here. I recommend checking it out and seeing what they've done, because this is really cool as far as just making it a more modern experience for creating issues. If you are interested in speaking at either a local community event, or maybe you want to do it remotely and you just have a topic that you think would be interesting for people to hear about, there are definitely people who are looking for speakers in the Atlassian speaker bench. There are local community leaders who are always looking for great content to put onto all of their members. So if you know a community event in your local area, or you have a topic that you think would be good, go into the speaker bench, which is in the online community, and let people know that you're available. Devs Unleashed Hackathon. So if you missed Code Geass, or you're looking for another hackathon to get a part of, Atlassian has announced a new one. The deadline is January 15th, but this one's really cool. What you need to do is use the Atlassian Forge framework to build a game that is based upon Atlassian data. That could be pulling in Jira issue IDs. It could be pulling in pull request information from Bitbucket. You name it, using the REST APIs to grab some Atlassian data that powers a game. I know one of my colleagues, when I shared this with him, said he'd give me $500 if I could make Doom happen, where he could close issue IDs by shooting them. I don't know that I'm going to do that, but it's definitely a cool concept, and if you're interested in this type of thing, you should get in there now before the deadline closes. And then related to that is the fact that Atlassian presents Unleash, their first DevOps and Agile event that will be happening both digitally and in person. This one will be taking place on February 9th in Berlin. If you are near there, go and see if you can attend in person. Atlassian in-person events are always really, really cool. And if you won't be able to make it to Berlin, I know I personally won't be able to, definitely sign up for the digital experience because it's 100% free. Next up, busting some online community leadership myths. So there are a number of people who have some misconceptions around what exactly a community leader is. This just has a good job of explaining some of those misconceptions. One of the most common one being that community leaders like myself are Atlassian employees. I do not work for Atlassian. I am a customer. I just happen to be, very enthralled in the ecosystem. I love the Atlassian products, and I want to be a champion for those things, which is why I volunteer my time to do things like this roundup. Next up, Paul Wiggers has done a fantastic job of just summarizing the Trello Fundamentals University course. I didn't actually know that this course existed, and I am definitely going to go check it out myself. I recommend reading through this article if learning more about Trello is something that you're interested in. The university fundamental courses are great at giving you a starting point on understanding the terminology and the basic functionality so that you can then take that and do some amazing things with it. Next up, the value of physical reminders. I really enjoyed this particular article, excuse me, because it was a good reminder that the digital age of reminders can't always replace the tangibles that you have stuck around your monitor. Those sticky notes are there to remind you that you have something that unfinished that needs to be done, and there are some times where a physical reminder is just that much more prevalent in your mind than anything digital. How I stopped worrying and love the silence. Peter's done a great job here of talking about something that I struggle with, and that is turning off work after hours and focusing solely on myself and my family. I'm one of those people who struggles to turn things off, but this was a great read, and I 100% recommend this to everyone who is like me and has troubles just putting things away. The fear of missing out when it comes to work stuff, I think I need to get better at sort of saying it will still be there tomorrow morning, and I'm working on that, and I think this is a great read for anyone who needs a push in the right direction. Lastly, for our announcement section, it wouldn't be a holiday themed post without some holiday related topics. The fine people at K15T have put together a Confluence Advent calendar. I recommend sharing this with everyone, those that use Confluence, so that they learn a bit more about some tips and tricks. I would especially share this with the people who love Confluence. Andy Gladstone, I'm talking to you. I think those people will enjoy this more than anyone else. Moving on to our product updates section. There are a number of really cool things that we have going on. And the first thing we are going to start with is the fact that Jira's gone festive for the holiday season. Now, this unfortunately is only available for iOS. So Android, I'm sorry, my fellow Android users, we're being left out on this time around, but maybe next year we'll have something available. This article gives you the instructions on what you need to take your Jira icon for your mobile app and make it more festive. So if you want to do that, go check it out. It's kind of a fun little thing. Next up, the old issue view is going away. So I know that there are a number of people who have enjoyed staying on the old issue view as opposed to the new issue view. It has slowly been phasing out where, if you turned it on, they've removed the ability to go back to the old issue view. So now it's one of those things where officially in January of 2023, that is going away completely. This article, I highly recommend reading if it's going to affect you. There is definitely a way to provide your feedback on that. So if you have thoughts and opinions about this going away, please share them as soon as you can. Next, I think a lot of people know my thoughts and opinions about team managed projects. This one, though, is really cool in that the ability to use global custom fields in team managed projects, I think, is a step in the right direction. One of my biggest issues with team managed projects has been the fact that they're siloed, and they make it very complicated to work with one another or to work with company managed projects. The fact that you can reuse global custom fields within a team managed project, I think, is a step in the right direction on allowing those projects to play nice together. And I look forward to seeing more of these types of things in the future that take team managed projects away from their silo and allow them to be a part of the bigger collection of things going on in your Jira instance. Happy holidays from the Compass and Jira software team. This one is a cool early Christmas present where there is now a custom field in Jira software that will link to your Compass components. I have not tried this personally yet, but I'm super excited about the concept of it because I think it's going to help make Compass components a real thing within Jira issues. And I know that the feedback on Compass from some of the users that did a proof of concept with me on it was very positive, and I think this is going to definitely help make it something we'll be more likely to use in the future. Next, we are looking at what I think is by far one of the coolest things in this whole thing, and that is that Jira native dark mode is coming. It is currently in early access right now, and it will be coming generally available in mid of 2023. This is one of the most sought after features from my users, just having dark mode available. It seems very simple, and it's been a long time coming, and I can't wait for it to be available generally. I will definitely be looking to get into the early access myself, hopefully, because I think this is going to be a huge help for my users and just, not having to be forced into the blinding white light. Next, we are looking at JiraLine. I don't have JiraLine on here a lot. It's a bit of a mystery for me because I don't use it. I think my company has been relatively small, or I've worked for relatively smaller companies where this just hasn't been, we haven't needed the scale of the size that JiraLine covers. This article, however, is a fantastic one on helping to identify some of the roles that would be using this and to give you an idea of how to best set up JiraLine to make it easy for those roles to consume content from JiraLine. If you're looking at JiraLine, considering it, or maybe you've just started it but you're struggling with getting your setup right, go check out this article. I think it's probably going to help dispel some of the mystery around JiraLine. Next, Atlassian Analytics has a massive end-of-year update. If you haven't seen Analytics, which is probably most people, because I believe right now it is only available to enterprise cloud customers. Here's hoping that they make it available for some of the lower tier subscriptions in the future. But this is a massive amount of content that they've made available in Analytics. And if your company's on that verge of, do we want to go enterprise, do we not? This might be something worth checking out because the features that you gain from Analytics might be a tipping point in making that decision. And finally, because Bamboo is near and dear to my heart, I thought it was worth just pointing out that Bamboo Data Center 9.1 is now available. So if you are using Bamboo, go check this out. I'm sure that there's going to be some new features in here that you're going to want to take advantage of. And with that, that is all of our product updates. I recommend going back and reading the article for all of the trending discussions, the questions left out in the cold, and our automation corner. I really appreciate you checking out this video, and I hope you enjoyed everything that we had to share this month. Please let me know if you're enjoying the new format of things, if there's anything else you would like to see added, or some of the things that you're not as interested in seeing on there anymore. I am always open to feedback and looking to make it better and more customized to what you want to see. With that, thank you for joining me, and I will see you back here next month.